Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are breaking down one of the trickiest question types you'll find on any competitive exam, data sufficiency. Stick around, because by the end of this, you're going to have a rock-solid strategy to nail these every single time.
You know that feeling, right? You're staring at a question and you're not even thinking about the answer yet. You're just wondering, can I even do this with what they've given me? Well, that's exactly what these questions are all about. It's a total mental shift, away from calculating an answer and towards just figuring out if an answer is even possible.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with what these questions even are. Then we'll look at the 5 possible answers, which are always the same, by the way. After that, we'll walk through a couple of classic examples, and we'll finish up with a winning strategy that you can use on any test.
Okay, let's dive right in. The number one mistake people make? They treat these like regular math problems. But they're not. You've got to see them for what they really are. They're logic puzzles that are just wearing a math disguise. And this, right here, is the secret. Your goal isn't to actually solve the problem. It's just to decide if the problem is solvable with the clues you've been given. Honestly, just getting that one idea into your head is a total game changer. It's going to save you so much time. Now, here's something that makes these questions unique. The answer choices, they're the same for every single question. Once you really get a handle on these 5 options, you've pretty much cracked the code for this entire format.
But listen, don't just memorize this as a list. Think of it more like a flowchart, a decision-making process you're going to follow every time. You always test statement 1 on its own. Then you test statement 2 on its own. And only if neither of them work by themselves do you even think about putting them together.
All right, enough theory. Let's see how this works in the real world. We're going to take that exact method we just talked about and apply it to our first example.
So here's the question. Nice and simple. What is the radius of circle A? Our mission is to find one single definite number for that radius. That's it.
And here are our 2 clues. 2 completely separate statements. Now remember the process, right? We're going to look at each one by itself, one at a time.
So let's start with statement I. If we know a quarter of the area, can we find the radius? Well, yeah, for sure. Just multiply that by 4 and you've got the total area. And you know, once you have the area of a circle, the formula pi r squared means you can definitely find one unique radius. So statement I works all by itself. It's sufficient.
Okay, now for statement 2. And we have to completely forget we ever saw statement I. Does knowing the area of some smaller circle inside circle A help us? Not a chance. I mean, think about it. Circle B could be a tiny little dot, or it could be a huge circle that almost fills up circle A. It tells us absolutely nothing for sure about circle A's radius. So statement 2 is not sufficient.
So, let's put it together. Statement I worked, statement 2 I didn't. That points us directly to one answer and one answer only. The data in statement I alone is sufficient to answer the question. See how that works?
Okay, let's try another one. This time, a classic business problem. As we go through this, try to think ahead and see if you can figure out the logic on your own.
So the question is, what's the profit for each ball? Now, to find profit, we really only need 2 things, right? We need to know how much it cost us to make the ball, and we need to know how much we sold it for. That's it. Let's see if the statements give us that information.
And here's our data. Statement I gives us the cost for a set of 3 balls. Statement 2 tells us the selling price for 6 balls. All right, let's apply our strategy.
Okay, first up, statement I all by itself. It gives us the cost per ball. Can we find the profit? Nope, we're missing the selling price, so I alone is not sufficient. Okay, now, and this is key, we wipe the slate clean. Forget about statement I. Let's look at statement I by itself. It gives us the selling price per ball. Can we find the profit from that? No way, we don't know the cost, so I alone isn't sufficient either. So since neither worked on its own, now we can combine them. And together, we have the cost per ball and we have the selling price per ball. That's everything we need.
And there's our answer. Neither statement was good enough on its own, but together, they gave us the whole picture. So, the data in both statements is necessary to answer the question.
We've seen the logic in action a couple of times now, so let's boil this all down into a super clear, winning strategy. A set of golden rules you can memorize and just run through when you're under pressure.
This checklist right here is going to get you the right answer fast. Number 1, analyze statement I alone. Number 2, and this is so important, you have to completely forget about statement I and then analyze statement I alone. 3, only if neither one worked by itself do you combine them.
4, the moment you know the answer is findable, you stop. And 5, this is your secret to flying through these questions. Do not waste time on the final calculation. You don't need the actual number, you just need to know that you could find it.
So when you really get down to it, what are these questions testing? Is it your math skills or your logic skills? Well, the answer is obvious now, isn't it? It's a test of logic. It's not about being a human calculator, it's about being a detective, looking at the clues, and deciding if the case is solvable. It's a puzzle. And now, you have the key.